Hey everyone, it's the Gaming Raccoon here. Firstly, before we start, I have a few things to say. First off, don't question why this hat has like this. It's the only Santa hat I could find, and I'm assuming we have another one around here that doesn't look as like jagged as this one, but this is as close as I'm ever gonna get. I'm sorry I didn't get that thoughts video out in time, but I think next year I will. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, let's start the review. What's up, guys? It's the Gaming Raccoon here, and welcome back to another installment of Raccoon Reviews. Now, before we actually get into the review, I have to point out this will be the last video for 2018. Now, I know it's sad, but think about it. We have a whole nother year ahead of us, and I have a lot of stuff planned for it, and I'm excited to finally start the new year fresh, and get some neat stuff out. So yeah, I think next year is really going to be fun. But anyway, let's get started with the review. So if you read the title, you're aware that this isn't a game review. But that's because I didn't know what game to cover, honestly. But I will be covering my favorite film of this year, and that is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, if you know me, you know I absolutely love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero. And I was excited for this film, but also I was concerned because Sony has never really pleased me with Spider-Man films ever since Spider-Man 3. So yeah, Spider-Man 3 was bad. The Amazing Spider-Man was probably even worse. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the worst Spider-Man movie I've ever seen in my life. Spider-Man Homecoming was pretty good, but that was a collaboration with Marvel and Sony. And Venom wasn't very good either, in my opinion. So yeah. But then when I realized that it was an animated film, I had hope, and this movie is now my favorite film of 2018, and I'm very happy to say that. And it's also not only my favorite Spider-Man movie by far, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time, period. And that's pretty impressive. Now, another thing that's going to be happening, I'm not going to do like the whole segment where it's just like story and like characters and villains and whatnot. No, I'm going to be, like how I stopped doing the scores, I'm not going to be doing that anymore, because I don't want things to get too repetitive. I just want things to be free-flowing, you know? Anyway, so yeah. Oh, by the way, major spoilers coming up. Like, I am spoiling this plot rotten. So, let's get started. The film's perspective, or main character I should say, is on Miles Morales, a normal teenage kid who's just trying to get through high school, but when he's bitten by a radioactive spider, because of course, he encounters this machine that can send other Spider-Men and Spider-Women to different universes. And so therefore Miles has to learn how to use his powers with these other Spider-Men and women in order to defeat the Kingpin. So yeah, that's the basic plot summary we get there. And the film just keeps, but don't worry, the film just keeps getting better and better. The voice acting in this movie is absolutely superb. Everyone did such a great job. Unfortunately, I can only remember two people. I can only remember two of their names who voice acted in this movie. It was Hallie Steinfeld, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She's actually playing one of the characters in the new Bumblebee movie, and she did a great job as Spider-Woman. And even Nicolas Cage plays Spider-Man Noir, which I found was a really cool thing, and he's also very funny in this film too. But unfortunately for you Nicolas Cage fans, no, he doesn't have a Cage freak out. So, and that's unfortunate for you Cage fans, but he's still pretty good in this movie. I also thought that the story was very well paced, and it's a good mix of like trying to stop the Kingpin and also Miles trying to figure out how to use like his spider powers. Like we get some very funny scenes of him trying to figure it out. Like everything he touches keeps like he can't unstick to walls. He doesn't really know how to use his web shooters. It's very good. It's very well executed, and that's why I think Miles is a very likable character, because he's a normal kid trying to figure this out. He's very relatable, even though it's like he's like has Spider-Man powers. The animation is also beautiful. I love the style. It's very comic book. It's very comic booky too. Like if a character's has like some sort of expression going like it like has like some sort of effect on them. When they have like their spidey sense, it like shows the lines, and when they're like punching something, it like comes up with the comic book pow and wham effects. It's very cool. And very well done. It's probably the most comic book movie ever made, if that makes any sense. And yeah, it all looks, and it is very nice to look at. It's a beautifully animated movie, I'll say that. Also, I love the characters too. Well, that was obvious. Miles is a very likable character. Peter Parker is always very likable. He is a lot more thick in this movie, I will say. Spider-Gwen, it is Gwen Stacy. She was in the trailer. It's not a spoiler. I like her a lot too, and Nick Cage's Spider-Noir makes him 10 times better. Spider-Ham is very cartoony and stretchy, which is how he should. And I forgot her name. The name, like the anime girl, like the anime schoolgirl who has the giant robot. What was her name? I forgot. I don't really know her that much in Spider-Man lore. So yeah, but yeah, I do think that all of them are great characters. They're very funny and they're very like charismatic. I'd say that, and they're just great characters. All right, that's all I gotta say. The film also isn't afraid to get serious at times. There's some really deep, dramatic moments in this film that I actually was gonna cry, but unfortunately, I wasn't sitting next to, but I was sitting kind of close. They were like a numb aisle or whatever, like on the side. But when I wanted to laugh and cry, I couldn't, because I was worried they were gonna say something like "shut up" or "stop," because I don't know. I guess that's just the way they are. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I really felt emotional in those moments, and whatnot. Yeah, they were teenagers, if that's what you're wondering, what type of people they were. But even with all these characters, they still keep the focus on Miles, never losing track that it is still his story after all. And how with it relationship with his family, and how he doesn't really like his school life that much, and again trying to learn his powers. So yeah, they still keep the focus on him. Now I think the biggest problem I have with the movie is actually the villain, the Kingpin. Now he does get some backstory shown about what happened to his wife and kid, but it's not enough. He's very underdeveloped, and he's barely in the movie. And he's like one of the most popular Spider-Man villains, along with Doc Ock. So why would you not develop him as much as you should have? I don't know. I just wish he was in the film more, because he is a very cool villain after all. So yeah, I wanted him to be developed a little bit more. Well, a lot more than he was. But that's really the only problem I have with this movie. Everything else is just wow. Seriously, the characters are funny. The story is great. The animation is superb, and I forgot to mention, but every character has their own funny backstory. I really like that too. Um, but and how they like showed up in the universe to begin with. But yeah, I really love this movie. In case you can tell, it's my favorite movie of the year. If you haven't seen it, please do. If you're a massive fan of Spider-Man like I am, this movie will be a joy to watch. If you're a fan of superhero movies, you'll like this film. But I think if you're not a fan of superhero movies, then you're not gonna understand the thing. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, go see it. Go see it. Trust me, it'll be worth it. But thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for sticking around in 2018. This has been a kind of a good year for a channel. I've had a massive break, like a 7-month break at one point, but then I came back. I'm back. I still want to make videos. I love doing them. But yeah, I'm not gonna stop doing YouTube or anything. I'm gonna continue on. And next year, when we start next year, it's gonna be exciting because I'm gonna start the next year for Bang. The franchise that the game is off is gonna be turning 20 years old, and I'm very excited. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this year, and this is gonna conclude season 1 for Raccoon Reviews, and that is great. So thank you all so much for watching, and Merry Christmas. Okay, I'm gonna stop wearing this hat now. Anyway, this is Gaming Raccoon heading back into the wild. Peace. Plus, you should probably subscribe too, that'll be a good idea. And also hit that bell icon to keep up to date with all my videos. And follow my Instagram as well. And be sure to subscribe to PewDiePie as well. He needs to be T-Series. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Goodbye.